I'm Paul Perkins with the check of your ag weather. After seasonal highs mostly in the 50s today, westerly downslope winds boost our highs tomorrow, the first day of spring, into the mid-60s to the low 70s. Elevated fire weather remains a concern tomorrow, but widespread near critical conditions are unlikely this week. Northeast winds from a backdoor cold front Wednesday, cooler highs into the mid-50s to the low 60s. A rebound to highs in the mid-60s to the low 70s is on the way for Thursday when that front lifts back to the north as a warm front. Disturbances off approaching low pressure lead to small chances of rain, maybe a little snow for Thursday night through Friday night. Higher chances are Saturday through Sunday as that main low moves through, including some thunderstorms, a possibility for Saturday night. Something to watch. Some forecast models indicate the chance of accumulating snow for Sunday through next Monday, including the chance of some heavy amounts. Highs for Friday through the weekend, cool to the upper 40s to the mid-50s in most of Nebraska, and the mid-50s to the low 60s for southwest Nebraska and northern Kansas. Enjoy the weather of the next several days. In the long-term forecast, colder than normal temperatures are predicted this weekend through the end of the month for Nebraska and Kansas. Nebraska and Kansas precipitation is indicated to be above normal this weekend through March 31st. Key weather factors impacting the markets include cold air building into the U.S. with a major storm over the weekend into next week and mixed weather in South America. On the plains, this morning's temperatures fell below 32 as far south as the northern panhandle of Texas, while readings below 20 were common in Nebraska and the Dakotas. Winter wheat is largely not developed enough to be harmed by the cold spell, although 7% of Oklahoma's winter wheat is in the jointing stage. High pressure is centered over the nation's midsection, reaches the central Gulf Coast states by tomorrow, leading to another night of unusually cold weather across the south. Freezes are expected early tomorrow as far south as Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Mississippi. The cold snap following the nation's third warmest February on record could threaten southern specialty crops, including blooming fruits, as well as winter grains, ornamentals, and nursery crops. Wednesday morning, lingering scattered frost in the south should be largely limited to Alabama and the southern Atlantic states, excluding Florida. After the midweek, a secondary surge of cold air mostly affects the Midwest and Northwest, with additional freezes possible in the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic states. Significant precipitation is scarce the next several days, although late week rain should return across the south. Spotty rain and snow affects the northern U.S. The weather in the plains and Midwest getting very active late in the week and weekend. A burst of Arctic air next week in the plains and Midwest could be damaging for some wheat. Southern Brazil has scattered rain over the weekend, including some heavy rain. Thursday and Friday, more rain moves into central Brazil, bringing some good rain for second crop corn that has had very little over the last week. South Brazil's drier conditions later in the week won't be favorable, with rain not set to return until next week. Argentina saw scattered rain this weekend. More rain is expected this week. Possibly widespread heavy rain Wednesday and more rain chances next week in Argentina should maintain overall good conditions. Overseas in Europe, precipitation stays widespread through the end of the month, favoring wheat in most areas, but still too wet in France. With the check of your ag weather, I'm Paul Perkins.